Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending upon where you're joining us from. Hope everyone is doing well today. To kick us off, we're going to have a brief welcome from our Board of Regents chair this year, Jennifer Reiser. So, Jennifer, toss it over to you.
Yes. Hi, and happy Thursday, everybody. With Midwest Institute kicking off in, gosh, just 10 days, I believe. We're really getting excited and super happy that you will be joining us. As Karen said, I'm Jennifer Reiser. I'm the Director of Operations for Chambers for Innovation and Clean Energy, and I'm very honored to be the chair at the Midwest site this year.
Wonderful. Thank you. And we'll have some time at the end for Q&A. And Jennifer, I may or may not call on you to share any additional tips or fun facts for all of our attendees here today. But with that, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. My name is Karen McCrae, Senior Director of the Institute Program at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And again, thank you for joining us. Very much looking forward to welcoming you if you are attending Midwest for the first time, or welcoming you back to Madison in just 10 days. We're going to start off talking about preparation. You should have been hearing from or be in active communication with your class advisors at this point. If you have registered within the past week or so, it's very possible that maybe you haven't heard from this individual yet. If so, just let us know and we'll be sure to get you connected appropriately. But class advisors, if you don't already know, are all graduates of the program and they are volunteers. They are your go-to person for the week. So any questions, concerns, not only while you're on site, but in the weeks leading up to. Again, you should be likely in communication with them already. So they've been in your shoes. They hopefully will have the answers. If not, they'll point you in the right direction and get you the answers that you need. So please get to know your class advisor if you haven't already done so. Moving on to some tools that are there to help you. We have our Linktree and Event Hub. If there's one thing that you remember that you take away from this call, it is the Linktree. That is your home base for the week. It will have links to a variety of sign up forms and schedules, the Event Hub, which I'll talk about in a second, but it is really the place that you need to start to get to where you're going. We'll have QR codes that access the Linktree on everyone's name badge, as well as tank cards, and they'll be on signage in each of the core classrooms. So if you are lost, Linktree is your friend. If you are not new to Institute in 2025, you might remember that in the past we had an on-site app. However, starting with winter earlier this year, we have discontinued that. So the Linktree and the Event Hub are your two options for, again, getting to where you need to be. The Event Hub is what gives you your personalized information. So Linktree is generic for anyone attending Midwest, any year, volunteers, faculty, etc. The Event Hub is a portal that you need to log into using your username and password that was created during registration, and then you can access your personalized schedule, see room locations, get access to course materials. There are attendee and volunteer directories, as well as U.S. Chamber information, maps, a whole plethora of information. So again, Linktree and Event Hub, but Linktree is really the home base to get you where you need to go. And then as far as what to bring, attire, it's business casual, but always professional. I will say for graduation, we do tend to see people dress up a little bit nicer, a little bit more formal. You'll see that particularly from our graduates as well as our volunteers. That being said, it's more important for you to be there. And we'll talk a little bit more about graduation later in the call, but rather than to worry about your attire, again, as long as you're a professional. There is a lot of walking at this site, so definitely we want you to be comfortable. Bring walking shoes, bring an umbrella. You never know what the weather will bring. And also, if you're like me and you're always cold, definitely bring a jacket, layers. Conference rooms in general are cold. So we highly recommend that you bring something to keep you comfortable in class. And then as far as materials go, Cece will go into a little bit more detail when she's talking about what to expect inside of the classroom. But essentially just know that we want you to, again, be comfortable and present in the classroom in whichever way makes the most sense for you to be able to focus and take notes. So if that's a laptop, if that is an iPad, if that's your phone, if that's pen and paper, whatever you need to do, we recommend that you bring those materials appropriately. And with that, I will toss it over to my colleague Nathan to talk a little bit about our next topic.
All right. Well, first of all, my name is Nathan Graham, also on Institute staff, but let's talk about day one. So day one, obviously you're showing up, you've either had a long travel day or you've well rested at the hotel and are ready to get started, get learning and get going in general. So we'll have the pre-site networking and on-site registration or IOM Expo. That's from 2:30 to 4 o'clock in the AT&T Lounge at the Pyle Center. And then you'll register at the tables with your class, pick up various IOM materials, meet with your class advisor, and then get various info about different things. So if you need some technology help, let's say the Linktree Event Hub, what's the difference between the two? You can come right over and ask that question. You can also ask it at the end of the session today, but if you have it again once you're in Madison, let us know. I'll answer it again, and maybe in a more fun way, maybe in a different outfit, whatever. There will be small bites provided. You can network with the Board of Regents and fellow attendees. For those of you in the fourth year class, congratulations, first of all. And second of all, your grad rehearsal is at 3:30. We want to make sure to get your name right, so be sure to show up to that and help us so that we can pronounce your name right and make that memorable experience just some more memorable and not memorable enough to be like, we forgot your name. Homeroom. So from 4 o'clock to 4:45, that will be in where you're in the room where all your core classes will be held. It's in the same room. Class advisor, they'll go over everything to make your institute experience better, plus so much more. And so they'll go through those guidelines, those expectations, introductions, get to know your fellow classmates, and just everything you'll need. And then finally, when we go to kickoff, you'll get a welcome from the Board of Regents, our faculty speaker. It is the oh so great Mark Field from Tennessee. He'll help us get started for the week, and then the opening night and Board of Regent gathering are just right after that. So it does sound like a lot because it is a lot. Day one is a lot. You'll be getting to know a lot of new names, new faces, maybe see some faces you haven't seen in a little bit. So we want to make that day one experience the best we can. So show up and show out. So I'll pass over to Cece to talk about the rest of the week.
Hello, my name is Cece Francisco, part of Institute staff, and I work with our faculty and on the curriculum. So as far as being in the classroom, as you may know if you've attended previously, attendance is required in order to earn credit. And if you do have any questions on attendance or any concerns, please work with your class advisor. And class advisors, as you may already know, and Institute volunteers will be providing important broadcasts, conducting attendance, and introducing the faculty member at the start of each class. You may have already started to hear from some of your faculty members, and they may ask you to come prepared with different materials. Sometimes they'll reach out prior to site to gather a little bit of information, maybe have you do some reading or answer some questions to help them in their preparation. And please be sure to visit the event website, Event Hub, and review what materials and handouts are included. So just to note, as of today, you will be able to access those presentations and handouts in the Event Hub as they are received from faculty. So what that means is you may see that there might not be a presentation available. That just means we haven't yet received it from the faculty member. We have received the majority, but if it's not there, it's because it hasn't yet been received. And you may see that there might be some slight changes to presentations from what you have today to when you're on site. Again, that is the nature of sometimes faculty make some small modifications between now and site, but for the most part, what you see is going to be what's reflected on site, plus or minus several slides. But for the most part, those are up to date, and most presentations have been received. Those are added in real time as we receive them. And please be sure to bring something to take notes. So some people like to take notes on a laptop, in a notebook. If you are bringing a laptop or an iPad or something electronic, please be sure that it is fully charged. It is sometimes challenging in classrooms. There may not be a lot of outlets available, so just be sure to have that charged before class because we're not able to guarantee that you will have an outlet near you. And as Karen mentioned, temperatures in a lot of classrooms are often quite cold sometimes. So we do recommend dressing in layers and bringing a jacket, as sometimes it does get a bit chilly and we want you to be comfortable. It's hard to pay attention when you are freezing. Take it from someone who knows. And as far as the classes, you will be taking 2 different types of classes. You have 6 core classes and 3 electives. The core classes are 3 hours with a 30-minute break, and those are divided by year. And then the class sections all attend the same core classes. So all of the first years will be in the same core classes. All of the second years, same core classes together in the same room. And elective classes are 2 hours long with no break and have attendees from different class levels. Be sure to check in your agenda for the location. And there will be 1 elective class on Monday afternoon, so that first day that Nathan referred to, and then 2 on Tuesday morning. That second day will start with 2 electives. And if you do want to see what electives you've taken previously, you can request a transcript by emailing the IOM inbox. And you are able, if you took an elective last year and want to retake it again, just as a refresher, you are more than welcome to. You don't need to change what electives you take every year. I will say electives are now final once registration has been closed. So please know what electives you're registered for. Those are final at this point. Institute does offer beverages from 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning, so before classes, with breakfast being on your own, and then a 30-minute morning break and a 1-hour lunch and a 30-minute afternoon break. And at the breaks, we will have catered snacks and drinks, and those are going to be in the AT&T lounge. Again, you can always reference this location in the event hub. And there will be a 1-hour buffet lunch provided at Rita's Market, which is within walking distance. And the dietary restrictions detailed during registration have been passed on to the on-site catering. But if you do have any concerns, please reach out to your class advisor or us as staff. We're happy to help. And with that, I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Ivy, who's going to talk through other on-site opportunities.
All right, thank you, Cece. My name is Ivy Mitchell, also with Institute staff. So we've talked a little bit about getting to site, getting around site, all the classes you're going to take, but what about all that other stuff that happens at Institute that makes Institute Institute? So first I'm going to drop a couple of links in the chat, but as Karen mentioned, all of this exists on the link tree. That should be your first stop for all of this. But the first thing I want to talk about is our industry consultations. So this is a unique opportunity versus class time to meet one-on-one with a subject matter expert in a more confidential and conversational setting that might occur in class. It's one-on-one, and you can discuss, issues that might be brought up in class, in greater depth, and maybe something that's a personal professional challenge that you want to go through one-on-one. But that first link is the link to sign up for these. So please participate. This is a great on-site resource to have a one-on-one meeting with somebody about a specific topic. In addition, we have a couple of different extracurricular options, the first of that being class dinner or activity. So as Karen mentioned, your class advisor has probably been in contact with you about this. These typically occur on the Monday. While traditionally, a lot of classes have done dinners, sometimes it's an activity. So we encourage everybody, if you have the energy and ability to participate in this, it's a great networking opportunity to connect more with your class or reconnect with people that you've seen at Midwest in previous years. So please, if you have the energy and time to participate. Additionally, we have lunch topics. Wow, that is just not falling easily off the tongue today. Lunch table topics. So these are more of a small group setting, similar to industry consultations. These will be about a specific topic in the industry that you can have a roundtable discussion on and keep the learning going even during your lunch break. And finally, silent auction and fundraising. So this should be in some of those class advisor communications you're getting. But all proceeds from our fundraising efforts stay at the site from which they were generated. So everything we raise at 2025 Midwest will be used to support 2026 Midwest Institute Regent scholarships. So donations can be brought to the registration IOM Expo on Sunday. There'll be a table for you to drop those off. But there's also a donation form in that series of links that I dropped in the chat where you can register your item and submit it to be processed. So the auction will close at 8 a.m. on Thursday, and you can pick up your items the following morning. We also have merch orders. I do believe these are closed on May 1st, and they are being brought to site. You can pick them up also at the expo, but I know they will be reopening it because I'm sure you'll see everybody in their wonderful Midwest merch and just get so, so jealous. So be on the lookout for that to reopen. Like I mentioned, everything is going to be available in the store and on the link tree. And with that, I will toss it back over to Karen.
Great. Thanks, Ivy. So the culmination of your four-year institute journey ends in graduation, which we talked briefly about. It's important not only for the grads, of course, but for everyone to be there in attendance and to support your fellow attendees. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It is really an opportunity to recognize those who have completed what will be 96 credit hours and to celebrate. So it is a quick 45 minutes to an hour ceremony, and we'll hear from a variety of speakers, including Jennifer, as well as our Board of Trustees chair. We'll have a representative from staff, and of course, the graduates themselves will have a speaker. So that event will take place at 6:30 on Wednesday in the Pyle Center Alumni Lounge. And prior to that, there is an optional what we call pre-grad bites reception, and that will be over at the Doubletree Hotel at 5 o'clock. That is available, open to anyone, even if you're not staying on property at the Doubletree. Everyone is invited, encouraged to attend, just to have another opportunity to mix and mingle with your not only class members, but fellow institute participants and volunteers and faculty as well. We'll talk more about photographs in detail, specifically with the fourth years. We'll be doing fourth year photos pre-ceremony, and then everyone else, we will take official class photos with our professional photographer after the ceremony. That's not to say that you can't take class photos throughout the week. Please do. We encourage it, but this will be with our hired photographer, and those photos will be available for everyone's use within a week after site. Afterwards, everything should be done by 7:30, 7:45, and you are encouraged to celebrate as you see fit. And then the final day on Thursday, everything will wrap up very quickly. It's just one class, that last core class that starts at 8 o'clock. At the same time, we have our silent auction ending at 8 o'clock. So whoever is lucky enough to win those items will need to pick them up during that break, during that 9:30 break. And classes do officially end at 11:30. If you are staying at the Doubletree, just note that hotel checkout is at 11. So you will need to either check out before class or make arrangements for a late checkout. I know that they do have luggage storage available at the hotel. One thing I just want to highlight, in case anyone on this call is not new to the Midwest site specifically, and you have not realized this, if you're hearing the locations, AT&T Lounge, Alumni Lounge, and you're wondering where that is, everything this year is in the Pyle Center, which is where graduation has been the past number of years. It's right on the lake. It's a beautiful location. We are not in Granger Hall. So if this is your first time, whether you're a first year or returning attendee, but first time to Midwest, this means nothing to you, but those who are returning, please make sure you are aware that everything, including registration, is at the Pyle Center. It is actually the same distance walking wise from the Doubletree that Granger is. It's just not a straight shot. There's a couple of turns. We will have the Doubletree shuttles running on loop in the mornings before class, as well as in the evenings after class. So more information that you'll find out once you arrive on site, and your class advisor should be able to answer any questions about that. But again, did just want to highlight that because it is a change from years past. But with that, I will open it up to Q&A. It doesn't look like we have any in the chat yet. So while you're thinking of things, feel free to drop them in the chat, or I think you can unmute yourself. Maybe Ivy and Nathan maybe are saying no. Okay, put them in the chat. Put them in the chat, please. And we'll be sure to answer appropriately. But while everyone's thinking, Jennifer, is there anything you want to share? Just recommendations or what to expect? Any tips or guidance, I don't know, that you want to share with our attendees?
No, thank you, Karen. getting us prepared and ready for.
Is it hard? I don't know if it's hard for anyone else to hear. Am I the only one that can't hear? Okay, you're very, very quiet. Okay,
How about now?
that's better.
Better? Okay. I was just saying thank you to you, Karen.
Oh, no, you just went out again. Oh, technology is so great until it isn't.
I think she was showering us with praise, and I appreciate that. I hate the microphone gods for ruining that shower of praise. But we also have a question of, are we allowed to park on campus?
So you are allowed to park. However, I will say, please pay attention to the requirements of what is allowed as far as payment goes. There is a cost to park near the Pile Center in the garage. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I, while someone else is talking, can look up the parking services at on the appropriate website and drop that link in the chat. So yes, with a fee. Mhm. And then Nathan, there's and Jennifer, since you can't talk, but what, or you can talk, we just can't hear you. What types of items are we looking for the silent auction? Examples.
So I would say there's apparently an apron with my face on it. I would not recommend that, but it is happening. That's just a kitschy thing. But things from your, feel free to bring things from your member organizations. We like to get to know the communities as well. People also love to bring, and I didn't think about this, but board games. So if you're on site and people like to donate board games to the silent auction for people to bid on, they usually go pretty quickly and are used then while on site. So to help connect with other people on campus or on site. But yeah, things like that would be good. Things from member organizations, things people will use, things that you would love to see in a silent auction as well. So that's what we would recommend. Whatever we can do to help the scholarship fund.
Mhm. And then it looks like someone was wondering if on Thursday, 2:30 to 4 is a set time to get there, or as people come to town from traveling. I think, do you mean, Morgan, on Sunday from 2:30 to 4, I'm assuming? That is the registration time. So it's a flow for that hour and a half, that anytime between 2:30 and 4, you are welcome to come register, get your materials, and then enjoy the expo and learn more about the Institute Week and meet some of the fellow classmates and volunteers and whatnot. Oh, no worries. Okay, Sunday. Yep. Anytime from 2:30 to 4.
If you get there Thursday at 2:30 to 4, you have missed us completely, or you're early, whichever way you want to go with that.
Yeah. And then Maxine, check-in, do you mean program check-in? The registration is on Sunday from 2:30 to 4, or if you're referring to check-in at the Doubletree Hotel. Okay, so if you are staying at the Doubletree, I believe it is 11 a.m., but I will confirm that in 1 second. Sometimes, I mean, it never hurts to go to the hotel and ask if your room is ready. And if not, again, they'll have luggage storage and they'll let you know as soon as it is. Confirmed check-in, excuse me, I don't know why I said 11. I was thinking check-out. Check-in is 3 p.m. My apologies, at the Doubletree. Great.
Plus, they're very accommodating over there at the Doubletree.
They are. And you get a cookie if you stay there too.
That's true.
Wonderful. And Katie, not to put you on the spot, but since you are on the call, I know you've already let Bobby Joe know that that you'll be reaching out, but feel free to drop in the chat if you have any other things to share with the first years. Katie is our first year class advisor. Any other questions or comments? I see there's a lot of chatter back and forth, which is great, of people looking forward to either returning or coming for the first time and meeting their fellow classmates. Great. All right. Well, if there is nothing else, we will let you get back to your day. Oh, sorry, Maxine is the year 2 advisor on the call. Crystal, I don't think so. But I can get you, Maxine, connected with Crystal directly. Oh, you have her info. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Ah. Wonderful. No, I don't believe she is on the call. But I'm sure she would love to hear from you and say hi. Great. Okay. Was there anything else? Super excited. Pushed her first message. Okay. Perfect. All right. I think that's it. That's all I'm seeing. Anything else from the team? A salute from Nathan. Great. Wonderful. Well, we look forward to seeing everyone in just a couple of days. If you have any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out to your class advisor or to staff. You can get a hold of us at iom@uschamber.com. And I hope you enjoy your holiday weekend and have a great rest of the day. See you soon. Thanks, everyone.